Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Dental Hygiene Basics podcast times Julio takeover. We miss Dana, but I'm still taking over. So I had the pleasure to interview 4 amazing current dental hygiene students. And this is such a great opportunity for me because as a pre-dental hygiene student, I'm so excited. I'm so ready to learn everything that you guys have been through. So let's jump right in. Miss Allie, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, my name's Allie. I'm currently going into my second semester of dental hygiene school, so I'm a little bit of a newbie.
We love that. We love to see the different semesters and your different stories. So let's jump right in, Allie. So the first question we have for you, tell me a little bit about yourself and your journey leading to hygiene school.
Okay, so I'm pretty young. I actually just turned 21 this year. So I don't have a lot going on prior to dental hygiene school. I kind of always knew that this is what I wanted to do. Like right when I graduated high school, I jumped straight into dental hygiene prereqs. I haven't done much other than this. I literally work as a barista right now, part-time. So yeah,
I love that. Where are we a barista at?
Dutch Bros.
My gosh, this is not sponsored.
No way.
I'm like the sugar-free golden eagle babes. I
I
love it.
can't.
Oh my God, I
Yeah.
love it. I'm gonna hit you up for all this like the secret menus, babes.
No, you should. You totally should. I've worked there for literally I'm coming up on 4 years at Dutch, so
I love it.
it's
Are
been
you still currently working?
yeah, I am.
Oh my God, I love that. So you're doing dental hygiene program and you work like what, like after school?
Yeah, so this first semester, I was just working 3 days a week. I would do Thursdays because we didn't have any school on Thursdays, and then Saturday, Sunday. So I literally did not have a day off.
Oh my gosh. I bet, hey, you're doing it. You're doing the thing, you know? As far as any prior like dental experience?
Yeah, I did work the summer before, so I found out that I got into hygiene school, and then I randomly got this, good opportunity to be a hygiene assistant.
Ooh.
So I did that for, 3 months before starting, and it was good. I liked it.
Yeah, that's a really important. That's what I tell everybody too. Like, I feel like if you have the opportunity to either work or shadow, I feel like that's great. It's golden, right?
For sure, yeah. I felt like there was pros and cons. Like, one of the cons is that I've created a lot of bad habits being an assistant, and now I have to break all of those bad
Oh
habits.
my God, so real. That's
Yeah,
so real.
but being able to shadow, it made me feel like this is what I wanna do. It made me sure this is what I wanna do.
Okay, so the next question I have for you, Allie, what was your overall GPA when you applied to dental hygiene school?
Okay, so I had a 3.8 GPA, so all A's, and then
Uh,
just 1 B. I had 1 B in anatomy and physiology too, and that one was just a little bit harder because of the professor that I had. Professors make a big difference, yeah. But other than that, the hardest ones for me were anatomy and physiology 2, and then chemistry.
yes. Did
I
you have
hate
to do
chemistry.
organic chemistry?
No, I didn't have to do OChem. I just had to do, a general chemistry.
Oh,
We
okay.
did have to do micro, but we had a really good professor, so it was okay.
Yeah, same. I loved my microbiology professor. Thank God
Yeah.
for her. Okay, you said you had a 3.8. And
Mhm.
now these schools that you applied for, did you apply for like one school like where the requirements like above a 3.5 or it didn't really matter?
So I only applied to one school because there isn't a lot in my area. Like the next closest one is like 2 hours away.
Oh,
So
wow.
I only had like one school in mind and I just went like really hard at this one school. And our application was entirely based on points. So you got extra points if you passed these science classes with a B or better on your first try. So, I made sure I passed them all on my first try so I could get as many extra points as possible. And then what else? Our GPA was it was like a range of points. Like you could get 10 points for like 4.0, 8 points for 3.8, things like that.
Okay, nice. Did you have a prior degree when you applied to dental hygiene school?
Yeah, so my program is a bachelor's, so we did do all of our prereqs and it did add up to an associate's degree. But my school is kind of interesting. It added up to an associate's degree in dental science. And a lot of people see that on my TikTok and get kind of confused, like, what's an associate's degree in dental
Yeah.
science? But basically, it was just we had to take intro to dental hygiene. We took head and neck before our program, and then we took micro for dental professionals before the program. So
Oh,
it wasn't
wow.
like anything it wasn't like an assistant degree or anything, it was just all of those added up to a dental science.
But these classes were taken before, so they kind of prepared you already so when you're into the program, right?
Yeah,
And it's all
no.
like the same school?
Yeah, so my program is a community college, so it was an associate's degree for the longest time. And then just recently, I think in like the last 4 years or so since COVID, they switched to a bachelor's degree. So they're kind of in like a transition period. So they're still kind of figuring some things out. Yeah, so they moved those classes that you would normally take in your first semester of hygiene school to prerequisites. But I really liked it because it definitely prepared me like for how intense and like the course load of a dental hygiene
Yeah.
class.
So, what dental hygiene schools did you apply to, or was it the only one that this is the only one?
Yeah, there was just this one because I'm in Vegas, so the next closest one would literally be in Utah, and that's a whole 2-hour commute, and it would be out of state tuition. So it was my backup plan. Like, there was a time where I thought my whole application would be pushed back a whole year. And I was like, I'm not gonna sit around and wait for a year. Like, I wanna apply.
Ah.
So it was a backup plan, but I just didn't want to have to commute. There was no way.
She's in Vegas, and apparently there's only that one program, and the next closest one's in Utah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
there's one, like, an hour and a half away, it's called Mojave, and then 2 hours away is St. George, and then there is one in Reno too, but that's, like, 9 hours away.
And so
So
so what I'm getting at is like since you did your prereqs at that same community college, when you applied the first time, like the first round, you got in.
yeah, I did.
I love it because you know how difficult it is, like with these like applications and the process, it's like so hard to even get in the first time around.
Yeah, it's so competitive. And I do think that I got lucky because, like I said before, they were transitioning to a bachelor's degree. So I think a lot of people like got set back because all of the requirements had changed and they had so many different classes to take. Or some people just realized like it would take them so much longer to get the bachelor's degree. So a lot of people just like stopped applying to the
Yeah.
program. So I got lucky. Like I came in at like the perfect time.
You applied at the right moment,
Yes.
right time. Like God was like, now is the time, Allie.
Yeah.
Love it. So if you are comfortable, how did you pay for dental hygiene school and the extra expenses associated with that?
Yeah. So dental hygiene school is so expensive. A lot of people don't talk about this. Like my instruments were $8,000 this semester, and then my loops were $2,000. It's so
Gosh.
expensive.
I have no idea why loops are so expensive. I mean, I get it, but it's like, come on.
They are so expensive, but I'm in a really good like situation at home where I live with my parents still because I'm so young. So my parents do split everything with me half and half, like down the middle, which thank God because it's so expensive. And I've definitely been applying for like a ton of scholarships too. So I got $2,000 in scholarships for my first year. So that helps a lot too.
Okay. And as far as like, did you have to take out any loans or was it like, like FAFSA, nothing?
I don't get any money from FAFSA, but in Nevada, you get this scholarship where if you went to a high school in Nevada and then you go to a college in Nevada, you get scholarship money. So I had that money, no FAFSA. I didn't take out any loans. And then I was applying for scholarships like with essays, and I did get some of those. So that helped too.
I
Oh, and
love.
Dutch Bros pays for school.
Yeah, that's right. Because we forget she's still working. Oh my God, that's awesome. Because as you know,
Yeah.
the more
Yeah.
if you could have the luxury to work, I feel like you should, I feel like, life is expensive and, if there's some people out there that like obviously can't afford it, so they have to go through the loan process. But I love that. I love that you have like a very big support system that can actually help you out.
I
Um,
do for sure. I'm so lucky.
So, what was the most difficult aspect of the admissions process for you? And any tips for the listeners?
Well, my application was really just based on test scores and grades. Like, we didn't have an interview process. We didn't have what else do they do? No interviews, nothing. It was just literally just points. So it wasn't that hard, I guess. You just really had to keep your GPA up. But the one thing that I struggled with was like the requirements are so specific and you have to get them done in a specific timeline and you can only apply once a year. So like if you miss one thing because like an academic advisor didn't tell you or like you mess up in one class, you're literally set back a whole entire year. So that was really hard for me. Like if I remember my brother was getting married one summer and it was like if I didn't take anatomy and physiology this summer, it's like, "Oh, you have to wait a whole 'nother year." And I was like, I'm not waiting a whole 'nother year. I'm going to my brother's wedding and I'm taking this class. Like, there's no
Yeah.
way."
Oh my God. When exactly are like, is it every year like around the summer that you have to apply, or is it like in the fall and then you start the next fall?
So my program started in the summer. So our applications open December 1st and then they
Okay.
close February 1st. So you have those 2 months to apply. And then I found out that I got in March and then we started summer classes online in June.
Yeah. So then that's pretty quick. That's why. So then now I get it. So you had to take that anatomy that summer because you're getting ready to do it in December. So you're like, if not, you would have to wait a whole, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that's a lot. And it's because like imagine you wanting to start your career so bad and then you have to wait another year. Like, no.
Yeah, I was not gonna sit around for a year doing nothing. I mean, I could have like worked and saved money, of course, but I was like, no, I gotta get this done.
Especially, like, not when you want it so bad, you know? As far as, like, that when you got that acceptance letter, how did you feel?
I was so happy. I remember it was just me and my boyfriend when I got the letter,
Uh-huh.
and I had been, like, waiting all week, and the other girls that I had met in my prerequisites were like, "Oh, I got my letter, I got my letter," and I was like, "Oh, it has to be in the mail somewhere, right?" And then so finally the day it came in the mail, I was literally checking the mail every single day waiting for this letter, and I got it, and he literally recorded me, and I was, like, jumping up and down, like, you wouldn't think I got into, like, Yale or something.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
Did you ever post that?
No, I didn't. I
You
didn't.
should, you should have, that's so exciting. So, what do you think was the most difficult part now, like, in the program, especially, like, as your 2nd semester?
Ooh, I definitely have struggled a lot with, like, mental health in dental hygiene school. That's definitely been the worst for me. It wasn't the hard classes or, like, the clinical requirements that I was struggling with. It was more like my mental health, like, you have to be willing to learn in dental hygiene school, and, like, sometimes it can feel like you fix one thing and then they're like, "Oh, now fix this," and they just kinda can break you down a little bit. And I've never in my life really struggled with my mental health, so this is, like, the first time where I was like,
What's going
"Holy
on?
crap." Yeah. So
And I
that's
love
definitely been
and
a struggle.
honestly, I love that we're kinda hitting that topic because it is so important, like, to recognize what is like, take a moment, take a breather, and like, realize, like, what's going on? Like, why am I feeling this way? And
Mhm.
that is so important because a lot of people don't even know or what's going on with me. So as far as, like, the mental health struggle, like, what were you experiencing?
Well, it's just a big life change, like, you go from being able to, like, hang out with your friends all the time, spend time with your family, spend time with, like, your significant other, to, like, a whole life shift. You have to pour all of your life into dental hygiene school, it feels like, and it's very time consuming and very demanding, and so that was hard to kind of lose my friendships and then well, not lose them, but, step away from them so I could focus on my career. And you also just kinda don't have anything in common with those people in your life anymore, like, my friends obviously support me, but they don't know what I'm going through, and then you start to make new friends in hygiene school, and then those become your people, and you're like, "Wait, but what about all these other people in my life?" You kinda have to balance it, and I was definitely struggling.
I feel like balancing that, especially finding, like I've heard, finding your people and your tribe in dental hygiene school is what's going to help you out because no one understands better than them,
Yeah,
right?
definitely. You definitely need to find your people, and you definitely have to stay positive because dental hygiene school can get so negative so fast. Like,
Really?
there's a lot to be complaining about, like, for sure, and, like, you're gonna fail, you're gonna get questions wrong, you're not gonna be perfect at everything on your first try. So there's a lot that you could just sit and complain about or just, like, sulk in, but if you find your people and you find people that'll uplift you and support you, and you can just try to be positive, you'll be fine.
Yeah, I love that. I love that answer because a lot of people need to know that it's going to be fine if you have to set boundaries and pause for like your family, friends, boyfriend, like they all need to understand like this is your career. I'm going through it. Let me finish these 4th semesters and then we can do all the fun that you
Literally,
guys
it's
want.
just 2 years.
2
2
years.
years,
It
you'll be
sounds
okay.
it sounds crazy when we say it, like 2 years, but, like, dang, like, they go by quick. You're
No,
already
it
in I
does.
couldn't remember when you told us that you got accepted, and then, like, now you're already in your 2nd semester.
I know, and this year's gonna go by so fast, like, it flies, it really does fly.
Yes. So, as we wrap this up with the Dental Hygiene Basics podcast, our last question for you: what final advice would you give a student to help them prepare for this experience?
My biggest piece of advice is to be teachable. I've noticed, like, with a lot of my peers, it's kinda hard, you feel like you're getting, like, beaten down a little bit every day because there's so much that you need to fix and so much that you need to learn, but if you can go into it and be, like, coachable and teachable and have the mindset that, "I'm gonna learn something new today," that's what you need. You need to be teachable 100% and you need to be positive. Like,
Yeah.
positivity is key. I cannot
Now,
say that enough.
here, I cannot stress this enough, guys, because I mean, it is what you put out there. That's how you're gonna feel. Like that energy you put out is how you're gonna really move forward and feel internally. So I think that's so important. Well, Allie, thank you so much for joining me and the Dental Hygiene Basics podcast. It was a pleasure. I love interviewing all these current students because like we learned something new and like a new perspective. Like everybody has different tips and tricks that can get you to succeed during this hard time because it's a lot, right?
Is
So thank you so much, and I'm gonna let you say goodbye to the audience.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. This was so fun.